Hello everyone, my name is Debashish Roy. I'm the head of training and development at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and I welcome you all to this special webinar today. And today's topic is zero trust security in AWS environments. So, in AWS security level or AWS solution architect certificate level, this is a very important topic. And what is the zero trust security? What is the security in AWS? What are the pillars of the AWS security? Let's begin. So we'll discuss the zero trust security in AWS environments, and we'll explore the principles and implementation of zero trust security within AWS. So what do you mean by zero trust? Zero trust means that you are not going to trust anybody. You are not going to trust even the root user. So root user is a super user, is an administrator. So even the root user do not have any permission. Like there are two users, root user and the IAM user. IAM user is like the user where you are giving the permission, let's say to launch an S3 instance, to create a drive or create a volume, EBS volume or S3 bucket, that way. And root user is a super user, but even the root user, like in the S3, he also doesn't have the permission. Why? Because it is a zero trust security. N- Nobody is allowed to perform any duties unless he is explicitly allowed. That is the thing. So we'll discuss about the zero trust security first. In AWS environment, zero trust security emphasizes a stringent verification process. This is a very strict process that you are not allowing anybody, you are not trusting anybody. If I am the administrator, I am not trusting myself also. That is a zero trust. So all access request, ensuring that no entity is inherently trusted. So like there is no such inheritance, like multiple inheritations, like there is a parent folder and then there is a subfolder, and if you are applying permission on the parent folder, it will be inherited in the subfolder. There is no such thing. You have to explicitly give the permission, only then it will happen. It is not that I have given the permission, automatically the child objects inherit that. It is not like that. This approach mitigates risk by enforcing security policies that require continuous authentication. So it is a continuous process. Like if you are changing the password continuously, like the MD5 password or any other RS algorithm based password, you are changing every now and then, so that if the hacker manages to grab that password, to sneak that password, also you will not be able to use it. So it is that MFA, multi-factor authentication, everything is involved here. The IAM role, even all the AWS security features are involved. So it is a shared responsibility model. So you have to understand the AWS security model first. The shared responsibility model delineates the security obligations of AWS and its customers. What does it mean? It means the AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud infrastructure and also includes the physical security and the underlying services. Everything is integrated here. It is not that you are doing the IAM separately. It is not that you are doing the, let's say, the S3 instance security separately. It is an integrated approach. In contrast, customers are responsible for securing the data they put in the cloud, managing user access and permissions. So, if you're the customer, definitely security is paramount to the cloud. Without the security, your data can be stolen anytime. So, definitely it is not advisable in the cloud. So, the compliance regulation is needed with applicable regulations. So, you have to maintain the compliance at any cost. What are the security services there? AWS provides a comprehensive suite of security services that I was talking about, and it is for protecting your data and application. What are those? First is the AWS Identity and Access Management. This is the main one. This is the IAM roles, what we say. This is for giving the permission to your resources. But also there is Amazon Virtual Private Cloud VPC for network isolation. You are not using the same network, you are isolating the networks. So that is also VPC. I'm creating my own subnets. That is a VPC. And AWS CloudTrail also for logging the API calls. So it is for the monitoring, the logging the events and monitoring account activity. Also there is CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is also there for setting up the alarms for the network activity or logging. So these all together, they actually create this AWS security services. Also, there is compliance. AWS adheres to multiple compliance standards such as GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS, ensures that these services meet rigorous security and privacy requirements. So, there are some compliance requirements that you have to meet the standards. It is not that I am putting the data in the cloud and I just forget to maintain these standards. This compliance framework helps customers in regulated industries to meet their legal obligations and protect the sensitive data. Then, what are the key principles of zero trust security? First of all, continuous verification of identity means it is a continuous process. It's not that I am verified right now and then I just wait for 24 hours, again I verify. No, it is a continuous process. Then, least privilege access enforced means if you want to give only read access, let's say a very minimum control, you want to give access, let's say, to the user to launch the history instance, but not to add any volume or like that, not to modify anything, you can do it. And it is a least privilege means you have to give the minimum permission. Then dynamic risk assessment processes, you have to regularly visit the log, the audit flow, and you have to do the risk management. Then micro segmentation for security, like the VPC. You are creating different VPC and it is for the segmenting your network in the micro segmentation, that is. Then incident response and recovery plans, these are there. So you have to definitely prepare for any disaster. So you have to make that response and recovery plans earlier. Then how to implement the zero trust in AWS? A structured approach is needed to integrating zero trust principle. So what are those? Assess security posture. So evaluate existing security measure, identify vulnerabilities, and understand the compliance. So you have to do a research. You cannot say that right now I want this IAM role to be implemented, but it should be as per the company policy. Define access policies. So you have to establish the granular access policies. Granular means at each level, say at each user level, at each folder level, you have to just implement the policies based on user roles, and it ensures the least privilege access. Implement IAM and segmentation. So you have to deploy AWS IAM role for user management and enforce the network segmentation also there. So like the VPC creation, all this network segmentation should be done. Like there is not only one network. If you are using the default VPC, then what will be done? If you are using the default VPC, then there is no such security. You are in the same network. So the hacker is also in the same network. So he can definitely hack into your network. So you do not want to do that. So you want to achieve the segmentation. You are creating another segment of network and you are doing the work there. That is the segmentation. Then continuous monitoring, utilize AWS tools for real-time monitoring like the CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and incident response measures to detect and mitigate threats. Then let's talk about the very important one, that is identity and access management here. That is the IAM role in AWS. AWS IAM is crucial for implementing the zero trust security within AWS environments, and it provides a fine-grained access control, allows the organizations to ensure that only authorized users can access. That yes, if the S3 bucket needs to be created, then you have to ensure that you give only that permission to the user. You do not give unnecessary more permissions. That is not needed. So definitely you have to use that fine-grained policy. Then network segmentation and micro segmentation. Segmentation is one thing. Again, you are segmenting that segment also. That is the micro segmentation. Means implementing network segmentation and micro segmentation enhances security by minimizing potential attack surface and controlling the access more efficiently. So how to do that? First of all, segment your network. Divide the network into distinct segments like in the VPC, and you can create the route tables, you can attach the route table, you can create the subnets, all this, and it reduces the risk of lateral movement by attackers. Second is microsegmentation, like implementing fine-grained security policies within segments. That is again you are using your policies effectively within that segment. So one segment maybe you are using policy A, another segment policy B. So that is microsegmentation. In that, it allows for tighter control over the resource access. Then policy enforcement, enforce security policies based on user roles and compliance requirements. to actually ensure proper access control. So that is the policy information. You do not need to just guide the policy, you do not need to just say guideline the policy, you have to implement it. Then monitoring and analytics. Then you have to utilize monitoring tools to actually analyze traffic between segment and detect anomalies. If anything is not working properly, you have to detect that. Then monitoring and logging AWS, you have to implement effective monitoring and logging that is crucial for maintaining the zero trust security. So first of all, ongoing, enable AWS CloudTrail log to log all API calls, that is the application programming interface, when the applications are interacting between themselves, made in your account, providing visibility into actions taken on your resources. Second is utilize Amazon CloudWatch to monitor AWS resources, and you have to set custom metrics and alarms to track performance and security. So you have to use that Amazon CloudWatch metric wisely. Then establish alerts for unusual or suspicious activities through CloudWatch and other monitoring tools to respond proactively to potential threats. So these are about the monitoring and automating security in AWS. What are the performances if you implement the AWS security measures here in enterprise networks? For example, 70% percentage of security tasks that can be automated using AWS services. So automation is everywhere. It is in the cloud, it is in the networking. So nowadays, nobody only relies on the manual intervention. Everywhere you will see the automation. So 70% of these tasks are automated, means the scripting. Now everything is done through scripting. Nobody is there sitting on a chair and doing this configuration. No, that is not the case. 50% reduction in response time achieved through automation. So you need less manpower and your efficiency also increases. Then 30% improvement in overall security posture from automated monitoring. 40% decrease in human error incidents due to automation, because if you're human, you definitely can make some errors, but automation cannot. So what are the case studies of the zero trust? Like, let's say there is a company A, breach reduction. It adopted a zero trust security model. So it leads to significant reduction in security breaches by 50% that I already talked about. And this transformation involved implementing strict access control, continuous monitoring. Company B, cost and compliance benefits. Like there is another company, let's say it has integrated zero trust principle to improve compliance, and its operational cost significantly reduced to 30%. So more efficiency, more performance, because if you can reduce the operational cost, definitely it will result in more performance. By enforcing a principle of least privilege and utilizing advanced security service, they also streamline the security process and mitigated potential risk. So what are the challenges and considerations of this zero trust? Complexity of implementation. Implementing zero trust security in AWS can be intricate due to the need to configure multiple layers of security controls. So we have to do many configurations at the same time, access policy and identity management. So it ensures that these components work seamlessly together. If one component fails or it cannot work properly, so definitely everything will be not in sequence. That is a challenge. User resistance to change. So employees may resist adopting zero trust principles because due to a lack of understanding or the perception that it is a complicated one. So they may think that the one that is they are following right now, it is simple, and this change, this is zero trust, is a bit complicated, but it is not. Effective communication and training, you have to train them, then that is essential to mitigate this resistance. Continuous monitoring requirements. Now, continuous monitoring is crucial to the zero trust model, and it necessitates the deployment of robust tools and processes for threat detection, and ongoing surveillance can be resource intensive and may require additional investment. So, if you are, say, doing the CloudWatch, CloudTrail, so these things should be continuous, not that I'm just running it right now and after 2 days or 1 week I'll run it. No, it will not happen that way. Then future of zero trust security in AWS. So as organizations continue to migrate to the cloud, the demand for the robust security models like the zero trust will grow. So integrating advanced technologies such as AI and machine learning will enable proactive threat detection and response, and it will lead to more secure AWS environment because everything is integrated now. AI, machine learning, everything is integrated. So you cannot say that zero trust is only implemented manually. No, it is automation everywhere. So we can conclude that the zero trust security in AWS environments enhances protection by it ensuring that every access request is authenticated, authorized, and encrypted. So as we know that AAA, authentication, authorization, and accounting, these are the three pillars of the security and also for the cloud security. By eliminating the assumption of trust, now organizations can better defend against internal and external threats. So this is about the theoretical aspect of the zero trust security of the AWS that we have got. And now I would like to take you to the AWS console here and just to show you some features of the AWS security that we have discussed so far. So you can go to the IAM, identity and access management, you can type. So here you can see that IAM is also changing. They are changing their interface every now and then. So IAM, which is a user group, you can have the users, you can have the access keys, that is in the multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor means it is using several factors, not only one password that they are using, but they are using different type of approaches, different passwords they're using. There's MFA. You can see that is the MFA identifier. So I have this access key, and also my account is also tied up to the MFA. So you have to download the, let's say, the Google Authenticator or the Microsoft Authenticator in your mobile to actually authenticate these keys. So there will be a QR code that will be generated here, and you have to scan that. Or there will be some random MFA passwords that will come one by one. Random means one by one, it will be changed. So you have to, when you are logging in, you have to provide that. So it is for the enhanced security of your account. Again, like this users, you can create the IAM user. You can give the policies, like you can click on the create user. You can give the username here, and select provide user access to the AWS management console. It is optional, but definitely you have to do it because otherwise the user will not be able to log into the console. Then I want to create an IAM user. Then console password is auto generated, or auto generated means the AWS will give you the password, but if you want, you can give the custom password. You can select, and I think it should be one capital one, like capitalize SS at that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 this way. And if you want that users will change the password and next sign in, then you have to check it, otherwise uncheck it. Click on next, and you can attach policy. So if you want, you can attach policy directly from here. Like you can select any policy here, like Amazon EC2. If I say read only access, you are only giving the user the read only access to for the EC2. Next, and you click on create user. So you have created the user, and this is the username, and this is the sole password, and this is the sign in URL for the user. So you just have to copy it and you just paste it here. And here the account ID, so I am user says, and I think this was the user. No, it was ISIS 123. So it has been logged out because the root user is logged out. Only one user should be logged in. I says 123, it was the username, not there. And the password. You are signing in, save it in your PC, and this is the IAM user. So it doesn't have any full control permission for the EC2. So you can see every access is denied. Access to the log, anything is denied. So this is the security center that I am showing you, that you can implement the IAM rules this way. You can go to the EC2. You go to the instances. You go to launch instance. You just try to launch an instance, but you won't be able to do that. Let's say select any Windows or Linux, any instance you want, and do not just select anything, network setting, everything, let it be the default, because I want to test that whether this user is able to launch the instance or not. You can change this, you can change the firewall rules or the network security group, or you can say configure storage, you can give more disk spaces, anything you can do, but you just launch the instance with the default one. Even you do not need to select any key pair, just select launch instance. Or here it is not allowing, so okay, you do it, proceed without key pair, because I do not want to log in. I just want to check. See, the instance launch failed. Instantly it throws the error because you are not authorized to perform this operation. I would like to highlight this. So this is the error that you have got, because the IAM role doesn't allow you. Only the read access was there for the EC2. That is the power of the AWS security, that you can have the IAM user created. You can even create a group. You can add the users, say many users to a group, and you can implement permissions or IAM rules or IAM policies that have implemented to the group. So you can do these things. So this is a power of the IAM roles and this user. So you have to just sign out because you are logged in with the IAM user. So with the IAM user, you cannot do any such job. So again, you have to log in with the root user account and you have to do the jobs. So this is about the part of the IAM user. Just like the, you can say the CloudWatch that I showed you on previous day, the CloudWatch and CloudTrail that does the monitoring. I showed you the firewall. We talked about the AWS firewall also. These are the also parts of the AWS security policy, the security center, security hub. There are many things, AWS security guard, but simple like the IAM, that is the main part of this AWS security. Now, say the zero trust security mainly involves this IAM role, like this IAM user, multi-factor authentication, and these groups. This is the main thing here, because here we are not going to implement any such third-party tools here or any such big rigorous tools here. We are not doing. We are using the policies, we are using the permissions to actually implement the zero trust. And zero trust means we are not going to give any permission without any authorization. We are not believing anybody. Even the root user doesn't have the permission for a S3 bucket also. It doesn't has any permission. You have to explicitly assign the permission if you want to create any bucket. And also in the IAM rules, you have seen that even the root user also is logged out. When you are logging in from the, say, the IAM user account, me, the root user, is logged out. And definitely that is definitely very striking, because in any OS environment, the root user account, the administrator account is never logged out. But here in AWS cloud, it happens, because here nobody is trusted. So that is about the AWS Zero Trust security and security role that I have shown you, and both theoretically and practically. And I hope that it is very clear to you about this. And this topic is very important for AWS Solution Architect Asset certification, also for the AWS Security Specialty certification. Because as you know, cloud is everywhere, and every resource, the routers, switches, servers, everything is now automated, everything is moving towards the cloud. And as I say, security is always paramount to the cloud, AWS, Azure, any cloud environment you pick. So that is the theory and practical part that I have for you today about this zero trust security. Like again, I'm saying you that zero trust security means AWS trust nobody, even not the root user, and everything is involved with the IAM roles and the security policy, like the security guard, CloudTrail, CloudWatch, these things. So I thank you all for watching and joining this webinar once again. I hope that you have got an immense understanding and knowledge from this webinar, and it will help you for your certification and also for your enterprise networking as you are working as a cloud analyst or the cloud engineer. You will be able to implement it in your premise. And I have a very good opportunity for you. There is a opportunity or contest going on, and there is a questionnaire that I will share with this webinar. And there are say 10 questions, very easy questions from this topic. And like I have discussed this AWS security part, so like there are MCQ questions, and if you can give say at least 8 correct answers out of the 10 questions, I've said 10 questions, only 10 questions, and if you can give answers, say, 8 correct answers at least, you will be eligible for the certificate. That is a very good opportunity for you, and everybody should have this offer right now, because see, the certification is invaluable for you for this cloud, because everything is involved in the cloud, and these are very easy certifications. MCQ, just click the right answer, that will do. And also here at ISIS, we conduct the trainings on this AWS Solution Architect as a certification. And I'm the senior trainer as a cloud, and I take the class regularly on this AWS. And I also recommend everybody to know the cloud.
Unlike me.
And definitely you have an opportunity to enroll your service for cloud. That is very important for your career. So I think that is it about the zero trust security in AWS. And I think it's clear to everybody of you about the importance of the cloud and its security. With the cloud and zero trust security today. And there are other topics also in the cloud security, definitely that we will follow later.
Hello everyone. I hope you have enjoyed today's introduction class to AWS training session. Today, what you have seen was it was just a introduction to what you have learned. To work as an AWS professional, you need structured training, hands-on labs, and real project experience. This course is basically best for freshers, students, IT professionals, and anyone who needs a high demanding cloud career and salary growth. So, coming down to the course fee, the fees is of 14,000 plus 18% GST, which sums up to 16,520 rupees. And the students availing or enrolling this offer by 8 p.m. today gets 1,000 rupees off on the course fee. So I hope you guys are ready to enroll. Let me know if you are interested.